Hello, Scorpio. This is Sarah with Sarah Bear Tarot, and I am bringing you your month ahead tarot scopes for November. This is broken down into 3 parts, 3 readings, 1 for each decan of this sign. If you don't know which decan you were born in, that's all right. I will comment before each pile, and you can also find it down in the timestamps. If you're born on the cusp of one of these decans, then you can have 2 piles possibly. So without further ado, let's get going. Alright, this pile is for first decan Scorpio. That's those of you born October 23rd through November 2nd. So here with the King of Swords, I think you have firm beliefs, authority, you're feeling powerful. You may be in a leadership position at this time. And here with the star, I see you feeling hopeful and you're looking forward to the future. I think you have big plans, and high hopes in manifesting something magical for November and beyond. With Tiwaz, you may be ready for a battle. You're preparing to get out there and accomplish something. There's a warrior energy here. And also, there's a very strong leadership aspect as well. So maybe you are hoping to be a leader in some aspect of your life, most likely job. And this mushroom speaks of risks. So your venture likely has risks, but you have to decide if they are risks that are worth taking ultimately. With Tiwaz the rune, there are also likely sacrifices that you'll need to make, and you have to decide if they're worth it, because they may need to be made in order to get this venture off the ground. With the 9 of Swords at the end here, it does show worry and anxieties about whether or not, if you take this action, because you're an action-oriented person, whether or not it's going to work out. Now, this Altar card, well, this is a new deck, so I'm going to read from a passage for you, because I'm still unfamiliar with what each of the cards means. The Altar can help you through the choice of this card to find spiritual protection in disputes, as Bran, after the battle, offered protection to his followers and their place of rest. Also, oracular strength as he spoke and instructed them on their travels and future actions. This card is apparently connected to the raven, so it does also speak of intelligence and divination. And it's also very closely connected to water, so that makes sense with the water sign here. As an aside, as I was reading you this passage, the neighbor's dog came out and was barking, and the neighbor came out and she started yelling at her. And the dog's name is Willow. And at the beginning of the Altar passage, they mention the willow being similar in that they're water-loving trees. And so I'm going to give you the meaning of the willow card as well. So the willow speaks of night vision, lunar rhythms, so cycles, female aspects, and it speaks of the 4th month, and the Altar speaks of the 3rd month. So I'm wondering if maybe you can get your project off the ground in March and April. And also, the willow, speaking of feminine aspects, that is one thing you maybe want to tap into. You can come across as a bit confident and goal-oriented, but you also have a very strong sensitive side that people don't always see. So maybe tap into that and go ahead and connect with your emotions. Don't get too trapped up in logic and worries, and tap into your soul. If you're single, I think you should remain hopeful. The star wants you to make your wishes known to the universe. Do not listen to the voices in your mind that tell you you're not worthy, or that tell you you're never going to find anyone. The universe wants to bring gifts for you. Know that you're protected. Step out of your comfort zone a bit. Take those risks. Face your fears and put yourself out there so you can meet new people and bring new energy in. Alright, moving on to second decan Scorpio, and that is for those of you born November 3rd through November 12th. We have a reversal here in the beginning in regards to the future you're building for yourself. Maybe things are going slow and you're finding you're not saving money as quickly as you'd hoped, or your career isn't paying off as quickly as you'd hoped. Maybe your personal life has slowed down, or relationships are a little bit unbalanced. With the Page of Swords and the Eight of Swords, we do have some energy of the mind. So perhaps there's a lot of overthinking and communications are going awry, or as the page speaks of beginnings, maybe you're trying to start a new venture or schooling or something that you're very much wanting to make happen isn't taking off like you'd hoped. There may be a person in your life who is leading to anxiety and making you doubt yourself, someone with a sharp tongue and quick wit, younger probably. You may be feeling victimized and like it's someone else who is keeping you from moving forward. Here we have Rido, the rune. This is the ride, this is wheel, it is a journey. You're impatient, you're energetic, and you want to get moving forward. Now, this oracle deck is new, so I'm going to have to look up to see what this card means. So white poplar, let's get a passage here for you. Okay, white poplar represents, through its quivering, your fears and doubts about the impossible odds you must overcome. But it also bears a shield by carrying to you a spiritual voice with words of guidance. To aid this determination, you need to develop until it can deal with your problems. However daunting or destructive they appear, the card speaks and encourages. In this way, it prevents death and the urge to give way under the sometimes daunting burden of worldly pressures. It is, therefore, a great assistance on the journey towards rebirth. So, with Rido, the wheel, and this card and the page, there is a new cycle to begin, but you have to work through those lies you tell yourself, the things that hold you back, your fears, the things that dominate your mind and tell you you can't do it, that there's too many obstacles, and there's a tendency to blame others for these obstacles. Now I have a couple more oracle cards here, and we have the stump and tooth. The stump, cutting something off before it's time. So it could be your fears are keeping the growth from happening, and the tooth means something needs to be extracted, something that is, well, holding you back, something that's keeping something else from growing. So how can you work towards releasing your fears? Let go of impatience and really explore your mind to understand where these fears are coming from. Then you can understand how you can push through them. As a relationship reading, there could be some unpleasantness or negative talk within the relationship. There could be gaslighting and a toxic energy here. Someone who makes you feel like you are less. Someone who makes you doubt yourself. And if so, it might be time to remove them from your life. If this toxic energy is coming from you, you need to get out of this. It's not fair to treat other people poorly because of your fears. If you're single, a new cycle could be starting next year, but you have a lot to work through personally. If someone's coming into your life who seems a bit too much, too confident, too good to be true, they probably are too good to be true. So if you pick up bad vibes or see red flags, just get out. Get out of there. Okay, moving forward to 3rd Decan Scorpio, those of you born November 13th through November 22nd. We've had a lot of sword energy in these cards for you, Scorpio. There's some negative energy here to begin with. There could be secrets. And 7s can speak of blockages or interferences, things that get in the way. There could be things being done behind your back or something you need to cut away from. This could be a person. But this does feel like past energy or present, but you're ready to move out of. The Wheel of Fortune speaks of things beginning to turn more in your favor. And we have a very lovely card here, Pentacle. So again, this is connected with the idea of fortune. So things may begin to go your way. This can imply an increase in the material world, so money coming in. And of course, I can connect that with the Eight of Pentacles. Hard work ahead, dedication and mastery. I know you can do it. And with Ansus, the rune, this is Odin, this is God, this is sacred knowledge, and also divine connection with the voice of God. So you may begin to see signs and synchronicities. Those are signposts for the future. Don't turn away anyone that comes in, because sometimes surprises come in interesting packages. Now we have the Sea. And this is a new deck, so I have to look up the meaning in the book. But of course, right off the bat, I'm connecting it with you, Scorpio, water signs, and emotion, the subconscious, what's beneath the surface. And of course, this could be speaking of emotional turbulence too. I'm going to read a passage here. Drawing this card indicates hidden knowledge available when the moon and sea are full. There are hidden depths and resources, especially those which you were born with, those that you inherited. The sea represents the lunar and the female, and it's a link between your place of birth and the lands to which you may have to go on your spiritual passage. It also represents that which is maternal and, of course, travel itself. So perhaps there's traveling, maybe in some way a connection to the family. And I'm noticing the cyclic nature of many of these cards. The Wheel of Fortune, you do have control over your destiny, but you have to take inspired action. If you're going through difficulties at this time, it is just a cycle. It is not forever. If this is about a relationship, it could be that you have been deceived in some way and are feeling hurt. Perhaps someone else is not taking your needs into account and they're thinking about only themselves. This is something that will need to be explored and really worked through. If you are single, I wouldn't be surprised if you'd recently had a difficult toxic relationship, but now you're moving forward, you're entering a new cycle, and I think the universe has some gifts for you in store. All right, goodbye, my Scorpio friends. Take care.